What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Boys Kasa. You know it's your boy Nana Bakupe here, and we got
Josh in the build.
James.
Said that.
Hold on, you gotta add AKA legit sim. Come on, man.
I don't know.
It's all good. And then
Anyway.
on my right, we got that guy James. Go ahead and go right into things. First thing we gonna talk about. Let's talk about this little B Simone video that was surfacing last week about girls having their list or whatever, and actually whatever's on their list actually having that. For example, whether it's a job or being fit or being good with their parents and all that and the third. How y'all feel about that?
I see no lies.
What do you mean by that?
Hold on, you can't just say that. You gotta open it up.
All right, so basically, I mean, she said that whatever you want in somebody, you should have yourself. I mean, I feel like you can't expect your significant other to you can't expect your significant other to like she said, like be a have nice teeth and you ain't been to the dentist in 6 years. like I mean
She said that
she did say that.
No, she did it. She said you ain't been to the dentist in 6 years.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
obviously it's not gonna be that dramatic,
Yeah. But some aspects I do understand. Like, for example, when she talks about the job, finances, that I understand. Like, you can't sit home and just expect, okay, if you want your man to have a car, if you want him to have a job, have somewhere to stay, but you can't even get a job at McDonald's, or you can't
Ouch.
even, you don't have $5 in your account. You're not qualified for anything. You just still staying with your parents, and they feeding you morning to noon.
Well, first off, I think the first problem is the fact that people don't like B Simone in general.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have to go ahead and erase the fact that take her personality out of it and just take what she's actually saying. So I mean, I 100% agree. If let's say it'll make no sense for me to say, oh, I want a girl she makes 100K a year, and I'm making 20K. Like, you're not really matching up. Like, I'm not doing unless I'm working hard to get to that point. I shouldn't just go ahead and say I want someone who makes 100K. I'm not even in the same ballpark at that point in time. But I do agree with what she's saying. If you want someone who is a family person, someone who is financially stable, you should be working your way to try to get that. To also want that I can actually match up.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, there's levels to it. Like you said, like, it's okay to like want that, but then like if you're not nowhere near it or like not even striving to get there yourself, then it's kind of like, well, you want him to make 100K while you kind of like sit home, or like I wouldn't want to sit at home all day while my girl out there making 100K. I feel
Some
like
girls want that though. Some people actually want to be stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home guy, whatever.
and some guys are fine with that.
Yeah.
Good luck
Me
finding
personally, I mean, hey.
But-
So you want to be cool with that?
What?
If you had it like that, when we have it like that, you feel me? Would you not want your girl to stay home?
I mean, she wanted.
That's the thing.
If I love her.
Minute. Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
If you love her?
I mean,
Hey, Joshua.
because I love her, because the love will be there.
Yeah.
Maybe. I guess it just depends. I feel like it just depends on the situation. Like, it just depends. Like, if she's like at home literally doing nothing, like all day, every
You
day.
still gotta have something going on for yourself. Like,
Something
you can start a
like-
business. You can make more money for us.
Make some wigs,
Something,
braid,
Braids.
start your own little business on the side.
Makeup, lashes.
Bro, so I just feel like you pointed out, James, some people don't like her. I just feel like if it was like a Beyonce or a Nicki Minaj,
Please,
or,
don't mention the beehive.
or Cardi B or somebody's like that said something like that,
Yes.
people would not say
I
that.
respect that.
I just feel like people just took it with a grain of salt, and it's just like, oh, you trying to attack people. Honestly, to me, I feel like if you were offended by that video, if you were offended by what she said, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and you might have to change some things. Because if you got everything in there that
What's
she
your ad
talked
again?
at _ Nana Bakopet, with a 3 at the end, not an E. But I'm just saying, if you felt attacked, because honestly, I feel like people that came at her that way, they felt attacked. Like it doesn't.
I
There's
agree.
nothing else.
Because I feel like some people that were like commenting on it were like, oh, well, if I have this and I have that, then why can't I strive for this? But then it's like, if you have the things on that list, then obviously the message doesn't apply to you.
So why are you here?
mad? Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
But also, I think, oh, my fault.
No, go ahead.
Also, I think that it's like sometimes it's also about like not the message but the delivery. So that's I think that also kind of played a part.
Baby girl, like, she do be going real hard with that. Though. Her voice,
She do.
It's,
It's
just,
annoying.
it's piercing. It's piercing.
But yeah, I mean, still though, of course, maybe the delivery was not good, but the message was still in the video. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, if you have a list of what you create, of what you wrote down, or you want this guy to be this and that, just look at that and make another list. What is on that list that you need to work on? So when you guys meet, it's just
It matches up.
compatible. Y'all be good to go.
At the end of the day, you don't have to be 100% at that list. But,
Mhm.
you know, as long as you're striving, you're getting there, you're on your way. You have something going for you.
Yeah, but
You're going to be straight.
anyways, I personally feel like there's nothing wrong with that video, contrary to what she's done in the past. I think that video was 100% cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But moving on, today's episode, we're going to be talking about why Africans don't really take mental health seriously, more as in the generation that came before us. So we're just going to go right into it. I feel like mental health is not something that we really know, coming from like our backgrounds. All you know, what I've been told is prayer fix everything.
It do.
It does. Prayer fix everything. But I feel like if prayer fixes everything, why did God give people the profession to be
Doctors, therapists.
therapists? That's
all
what
that
yeah, a therapist and all that. Like, why did He appoint that? I mean, there are people like that for you to talk to, in order to get problems and stuff out the way. But how y'all feel about that? Why we don't take mental health as seriously as other countries do?
I mean, like what you said before, it's based. The previous generation, they don't because they know nothing about it. Let's say if you go back in Ghana or whatever, back in the day, I don't think they had a therapist there for you to be like, oh, I'm going through stuff right now. I just went through a loss. I want to go talk to somebody. It's kind of like, oh, maybe you talk to your family. And again, that's a maybe. But other than that, you keep it to yourself. You pray. You just keep moving. I mean, it's up to our generation now to be like, oh, okay, cool. There is an avenue I can go through to talk to a therapist if I need something. If I go through a loss, mom and dad, let's go ahead and talk to this person here that can actually talk to us and help us through whatever's going on. But I can't really blame them for not knowing about it because if something's not available to you,
You wouldn't know.
yeah.
That's true. What you think?
Yeah, I think you both kind of hit it on the nail. I think that also like the way like Africans see things, like for instance, like you know how like people like for instance like go to therapy, right? Like say a child, they don't really talk, they're not like as communicative.
Child therapy.
Yeah, and so they'll like help them to be more, open, make friends, stuff like that. So I feel like in most cases, like in Africa, like if they see like their child is like that, there's like for one they'll pray. Or if they
Demon.
they'll think it's like demon, witchcraft. They'll think it's like some random nonsense that has like nothing to do with it. So I think that plays a big factor in like they just don't see that type of thing every day. So
That's true. I mean, that's true. I don't see it. There's nothing wrong with what you're saying, what either you said. But taking it back home, for example, I live back home, and there are instances where you see people that, like, we'll call them madmen, and conform up with them, that are on the street, with no clothes. So what do you think was wrong with them? They're not in a good place mentally. Before they would have got to that stage, do you think that if there were, I'm sure even back then, like 10, 12, 15 years ago, I'm sure there were therapists out there. Do you think that if they would have talked to people, they could have blocked that stage for them to get to that extent?
I ain't gonna lie, like if it was me and like I was like I guess in that stage, I wouldn't send or like I wouldn't go talk to nobody in Africa because I feel like they're just gonna take my money. And they're not gonna actually help me, like they're not actually gonna do nothing. So I think honestly, like in all seriousness, I think that literally does play a factor because like you have pastors and stuff that are like, oh
Wow.
Whoa, what's that?
you have pastors out there that are like, not in America, none that I know personally, but that like take money and they do stuff like that. They take your money, say that they'll help you do this and that, no results happen.
Okay.
So I think
But like you said maybe like 10 to 15 years ago, whatever. I really don't know if there were that many therapists out there for someone to go to. And on top of that, does the person who's going crazy with it, do they even have the money or the resources to even be able to
There's
pay
no
or afford
insurance
that
or
therapist
okay.
to get any help or anything like that?
That's a
So,
valid point. All right, let's take it more on a personal level. If y'all don't mind me asking y'all this, have y'all been in a therapy session, or would y'all have a therapy session with somebody that's that occupation? Like, would you go to therapy?
I've been a therapist before,
Okay.
but I personally didn't find it as helpful. Maybe it could have been a therapist that I went into or anything like that. But my therapy is talking to my friends, whatever. Y'all know I'm gonna call y'all 24/7. You feel me? So to me, I still get what I need to get off my chest by talking to you guys and stuff like that. But I just find it a little weird talking to someone who I don't know, or doesn't really know me like that, just to spill everything out. So I'd rather call you like, yo, this just happened or whatever. So I'll rather open up to you guys than just some stranger.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's easier to talk to somebody you know. Like that's why I do that too. Like I talk to y'all.
I know.
Call it. Let's relax. Let's not expose me. We gonna do that for the camera. We gonna do that for the camera. Nah. So like I'll hit y'all up if I like have anything. But at the same time, like I think that if it really came down to it, and I like knew that I seriously needed it, I wouldn't mind going to see a therapist.
Now, would you tell anybody else about it, or will it be something you just keep
That
to yourself?
you've been to a therapist?
Yeah.
More than likely, I'd keep it. Like I think I'd keep it until I'm ready to
Bring it out there.
like it'll probably take a while. Like I don't think I'd actually mention it until like I feel like I'm actually getting results out of
Okay.
what's happening.
I mean, I get both of y'all's points, definitely, but I would say it just depends on who and what the
First, I
situation.
answer the first question. Have you
What
been to
I,
a therapist?
no, I've not yet. I'm actually planning on going.
I haven't either.
I feel like for example, I'm the only child. You guys have siblings. In my case, my whole life, I've known how to do things on my own. Of course, like down the line, I've built relationship with friends and whatnot. But there's some things that have happened in my past that my friends might not know about, and that I've not voiced out. That I personally might, not that I don't trust my friends or anything,
Yeah.
but I'll just feel comfortable talking to somebody who I don't know, that I know at the end of the day they're not gonna say nothing. Of course, my friends will not say nothing.
I'm
But
gonna say something.
but I just feel like
saying it.
I just feel like being in a situation like mine, being the only child, like all you've known is you gotta do on your own.
Mhm.
It just depends on what the situation is. Like you guys, like I'm saying, you guys have siblings, both parents in your life, right? Mom and dad, me, just my mom. So I just feel like it just depends on the situation. It just depends on who you are. But then I don't think there's anything wrong with going to see a therapist at all.
I also feel
it
like
helps.
it's a negative connotation towards going to therapy, though. It's like, oh, if you're going to therapy, you're a crazy person, or something like really, really. But I feel like everyone should probably at least try, just because you never know what's really underlining any. Is there anything you have going on in your life?
That's truthful, and honestly, I'm just definitely a victim of that. A couple of years back, I would think going to therapy was a waste of time. But as I've matured, as I've getting older, it's necessary to voice things out. I mean, that's why there are people that it gets to a point they can't hold shit no more. They just
Explode.
do crazy stuff. So I think it's important to see somebody or do something about it. You got anything?
Nah, man.
But at the end of the day, therapy is not a bad thing. But I feel like as new age, like new generation, being Africans, we got to make it more of a staple in, our future moving forward. If it's, once a month, it doesn't necessarily have to be a therapist. Like you just want to sit with your friends and, hey, this is what went on through the month. This is what happened. I can voice it out and, hash it out now. It doesn't grow inside of me and then, spew out something that it shouldn't. But at the end of the day, therapy is not a bad thing.
Also, just to add, I also think that like one thing that like a lot of I feel like us like as like our generation like we don't really open up because like I feel like we can't really talk to our parents about certain things.
I agree.
And so like they are like very judgmental. They'll be like, this isn't something serious, or like, well, why are you letting this bother you? So I feel like that like you saying like for instance for you, I'm sure like I mean I don't know your relation with your mom, but like I feel like even me personally, like I wouldn't, if I had a problem, I wouldn't go to my parents because I don't think they'd understand it, and I think that plays a big role in it too, and why like a lot of people like keep things in. And if you don't have like that support system around you, you just won't really talk about it.
And also, honestly, even with that being said, our parents, maybe thinking like there's nothing really wrong. That all goes to the fact of what they have been through in the past, what they have gone through. I definitely understand that. I definitely understand. They didn't have that aspect back in the days. They didn't have that back in the day. They didn't really talk to people. They didn't really talk to their parents. So they just show us things how they know, what they've been through. So that aspect, I understand why they'll be judgmental. I understand. Our folks don't really like to adapt with time.
They don't.
They really don't. So that part I understand, but I just feel like it's really up to us to make it better. Because right now with social media, all that, it just takes one video or you just saying one thing the wrong way, and then people just take off with it. And you've had people that hurt themselves because there's a picture that got posted online, and they go kill themselves because people are saying mean things or what. For example, take this B. Simone video. Some people took it in a negative connotation. If it wasn't social media, or if she wasn't
posted up in the first place.
I'm saying, but if she wasn't the type of person that she is, that she can withstand stuff like that, God forbid, but she could, if it was somebody that would go kill himself.
I mean, that speaks to why a lot of celebrities, they go through therapy, depression, and all that stuff, because you might look at it as it's really easy, they making all this money, but you tweet the wrong thing, you tweet it the wrong way, and it might be over for you.
Yeah.
And our generation are detectives. Like they find everything. Like it's like Kevin Hart. Yeah, literally from like 20, like
bro.
2018 or something.
Kevin Hart is the only prince that I know that he can turn anything around. It doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, bring them back. At the end of the day, if you got to go see somebody to talk about your problems, go ahead. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I got to leave a couple of something down to reach out to anybody that you want to talk to.
Oh yeah.
Some suicide helplines, just anything.
There actually are. Yeah. I'll put some of those in the comments. But okay, I'm gonna close this out. Y'all got anything?
Nah, man. Just go ahead. Make sure you like, you comment. Go ahead, subscribe. Share with your friends. Watch on your lunch break. You feel me? Just go ahead and support it, guys.
Don't just watch the first 2 minutes either. All 6 and 30 minutes. Watch the whole thing. But with that being said, we'll see y'all next episode.